are Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Thursday night or happy Friday if you're listening on the podcast, watching this on YouTube, or happy weekend, whatever day. Maybe you're treating your mother to this on Sunday. Happy Mother's Day if you are. What a horrible way to start that great holiday. Regardless, thank you so much for making Locked On Spartans your first listen. And that's right. If I could ever point in the right direction on YouTube, one day I'm going to get this down. I'm pointing over to the Avi of the one, the only MSU chief of propaganda known as Odell Brettham Jr. He is the hardest working man on the internet in MSU corners. And we're going to start talking about just the most devastating news to hit this state in quite some time, which is MSU's Peach Bowl rings came in. Man, the design's pretty cool. Before we get to that, sorry, Odell Brettham, I got to keep you on ice for a little longer. Hey, please rate, review, subscribe to the show, whether it's a podcast or you're watching on YouTube. Smash that subscribe button, comment, let us know what you think about this whole Ringgate thing. And also, any questions, lockedonspartans@gmail.com. Mr. Brettham, I don't know if you saw the monstrosity today, but MSU's Peach Bowl rings came in the mail. FedEx, UPS, however, horseback. Kenneth Walker ran them to East Lansing himself. I have no idea how they got there, but it's a Peach Bowl ring. It's got the Peach Bowl score on it, but on the other side of the ring, it's got that pretty much these days annual tradition of celebrating the MSU-Michigan game. Fair or foul that Michigan State put the 37-33 score from October 30th on the side of the ring? Are you just as devastated as everyone at that school down the road is?
Yeah, I'm going to have to, because I think they should have put the final score on the face of the ring. I would have had it just full on 37, 33, right in the middle. I would have put the diamonds on the side. I'm going to actually propose this to Coach Tucker and the staff for next year. The reaction we got today warmed my heart to the point where it made my day.
The offseason has been a little too quiet, hasn't it, just between MSU and Michigan? Because usually we're barking at each other about some high school recruiting ranking or something inane. And finally, we were so overdue for this. Finally, it happened. Michigan State, as they do, they win a bowl game, and they also normally put the second biggest game on the other side of the ring, which more times than not in the last decade and a half has been beating Michigan. And that was the one. That was the straw that broke the camel's back here, and it's guns a-blazing on these Twitter streets. But yeah, but again, they don't care about the game. We've only heard them say they don't care about the game every single day this offseason since they're just pummeling against Georgia wrapped up. And the best way to tell someone that you don't care about anything is just to go online and mention it every single day. But again, it's all good in the hood. I thought until today, apparently. So whoopsie daisy. We almost made it through the whole off season without anything, or almost made it to June at least, I guess.
Yeah, and I just thought it was a little ironic because everybody, we both were tweeting about it, and a lot of the responses from those fans from the school down the road, a lot of their names were 42-27. Nothing to do with being Big Ten champions or beating Iowa. It's all just about one game, and I guarantee that score will be on whatever lollipop ring that they can afford. So, I guess we'll see. We know they have a little bit of money problems, so.
Well, sure. Times are tough, especially at such an established university like themselves. But I think my favorite retort probably was "Oh, this is little brother just showing us what we all knew about you." It's I don't know. To me, the little brother thing in this whole situation is being on the losing end of this game 10 times in the last 13 years. There is something very easy that you could do about this whole conundrum here, and that's keep this guy over my shoulder here, Kenneth Walker, keep him from scoring 5 times in a single game. Or, I don't know, I thought a 16-point lead with a little over 20 minutes left in the football game was comfortable enough to defend, but again, just two easy solutions that I just wanted to consider, throw out there, suggest. I'd like to be an ideas guy. That's kind of where I just go in times of need. I just try to help people, and those are the only two things I have to help out. Unless you have anything better to cope with all this.
No, I mean maybe on their rings that they potentially make, maybe they'll throw in that they made 6 straight Sweet 16s. I know that that's a big sense
That's
of
big
pride for
time.
them.
It
So
is
I
big
mean,
time.
Juwan might bring out some rings. I know Hunter Dickinson just got
Sure.
some big NIL money, so maybe he makes some for the team there. I mean, that's a career accomplishment. I know the Raptors there in Silent Library, they're pretty empty, so maybe throw up some Sweet 16 banners, maybe get some
Sure.
of Juwan's out of the basement, get the dust
Yeah.
off, get some rings. So yeah, I mean, I this gives me so much content as well as you that I can just post a picture of a ring and I know it's going to ruin somebody's day. And that brings me so much joy that I can't even put into words.
It goes gangbusters. It's great, and I can't wait to see where this offseason takes us, what the next blow up will be. But I've had a decent time this offseason so far. I mean, yeah, listen, like I get that basketball is a little quiet lately, but our Lord and Savior, Mel Tucker, has got us excited for the upcoming football season. Do you like how the football offseason is going as far as like transfers go, recruiting hype goes? I mean, you are the man inside. You are the hardest working man on the internet. So like, how's this offseason been treating such a blue collar worker like yourself, Mr. Brett?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's almost perfect in the sense that it started off with the big Peach Bowl win, and that kind of catapulted us. I mean, we had 4 guys drafted. You had another 3 or 4 get signed to tryouts. So, I mean, that's really exciting. And then in terms of recruiting, I mean, we already have top 15 class. I mean, all the guys are in the top 200, and we've got 5 stars. I mean, there's rumors of silent commits left and right. I know that there's going to be some exciting things coming down the pipeline. The Tom Izzo football building phase 1 got approved. And in terms of transfers, I mean, we got 2 new running backs. We got a mauling offensive lineman. So things are, not to be too corny here, but things are going very peachy in East Lansing. I mean, the sun is shining. And I would say that, I mean, you mentioned how we haven't had any run-ins with kind of Twitter with that school down the road. And it's probably because we're recruiting different calibers of recruits at this point.
Sure.
I mean, they're focused on, I don't know because I'm blocked by all their insiders, but we're after 5 stars. Yeah, we're after 5 stars. We're after top 100 kids. We're going to clean up in state. So yeah, whatever they do, good for them. But yeah,
sure.
Their little tantrum over rings, love it. Just wait until we get our championship ring. Like when we win a natty, that ring is going to be so out of this world. Now, I don't know if somebody can I don't know if we have our own swanky, not to give props to any U of M accounts, but maybe somebody can make the crying Jim Harbaugh face, like the crying Jordan.
Sure.
And we just diamond encrust that on the rings.
I would suggest like even brass knuckles and just doing like 4 wins from that season, like the national championship, Big Ten championship, beating Michigan. Then like whoever we beat the most, even if it's like Akron, like 64-7, just like the biggest blowout on the ring too, just for good measure, the brass knuckle rather. Also, it might have as much LED on it as the new football building. We're going to get to some other fun topics here in a hot second, like what moment solidified us as MSU fans. We're going to play an old classic, Kentucky Derby jockey or current MSU athlete. But now that you bring up the football building, I have to ask, I don't know if everyone's seen the rendering video or not. You find it online, whether on it's Odell Bredham's account, Justin Thin tweeted it out. What was your instant reaction to the new football building rendering video? Because mine was, this is going to set a record for most LED inside a single building. Like this is going to be a light show inside this Tom Izzo football center facility building, the Tom Izzo football hut. Yeah, that's
experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. When I first kind of saw things, I mean, I've spent way more time than I would ever like to admit, just like looking at other schools' facilities on YouTube videos, and I mean, you see water slides and all this good. We kind of get our first glimpse, and it looks like, I mean, you talk about like movies like Interstellar where they have like environments out in space on spaceships, and that's what this looks like. It looks like something from like the year 3000, which I think is really cool. And one thing I was trying to focus on is like trying to actually get it through my mind where all of this is actually going to be. because you look at the current place and you're like, okay, it's like I mean, the facility, it's nice as is right now, but
Sure.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of just unassuming in its location. You don't really, it doesn't really stand out, but yeah, this is something that's going to stand out for sure. So I mean, I can't wait. I mean, if they need me out there with a hammer and nails, I'm ready to
Yes.
go.
Yeah, I'll paint. I'll hang up a few lights. I'll mount some televisions. I'll even hide the wires too behind the drywall because I'm a very handy man, and that's the biggest accomplishment I've ever done with a tool in my hand. So, but hey, I'm here to help. I'm here to help. No, it's throw me the hard hat, and let's get to popping. And you know what? Before actually we get working on the football center, Brett. That's right. I got to send you to the bench. I'm very sorry. How about you walk down a few built bars before you work on the football? Any project that you're doing, whether it be at home, landscaping, you're working on yourself, you're working out, you got a lawn day at the office coming up. Built Bar is here to help you in 3 ways. One, they're going to just be so well on the body. Most Built Bars have 170 calories, if I can get the words out of my mouth. Just 4 net carbs, just 4 grams of sugar, and a whopping 17 grams of protein. Number 2, they treat your taste buds right. It is like an angel has smacked you in the mouth whenever you have a Built Bar. It tastes better than a candy bar. It's soft, it's chewy, it's wrapped in 100% chocolate, and it tastes like what is on the wrapper. This isn't like your other protein bar where you bite into it and then just sawdust is just everywhere. And you're just trying to convince yourself that you're eating something that's a chocolate candy crunch mega bar. Whatever it is, it ain't Built Bar. And the third thing that Built Bar does to help you, they give you promo codes. Go to built.com. Smash in promo code LOCKED15. That's going to get you 15% off your order. That's right. Built.com. Promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. And as we get Odell Brettham Jr., the MSU Chief of Propaganda, back into the mix, just want to thank you all for making Locked On Spartans your first listen every single day. Also, if you ever want to reach out, Sheehan_sports on Twitter or lockedonspartans@gmail.com. Like Zeke the Wonder Dog did, he said, what was the day/event that solidified you as a Spartan fan? And I love that question so much. I wanted to talk about it with someone else, and who better to talk about it with than probably the greatest MSU fan there is out there. So take it away. I'll stop hogging the mic. Mr. Brettham, when was the moment or game or whatever it was that solidified you as a Michigan State Spartan fan?
So that I'm gonna have 2 parts to this answer. The first part is
Please.
when Michigan State first kind of popped up on my radar. Is like, okay, this is kind of the school. It's probably when Drew Stanton went to Michigan State, because we're from a similar area. So, and
Okay.
just kind of seeing him, kind of come from a high school that we compete against. That I'm like, okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. And like, it was just a huge thing that, yeah, this kid from down the streets playing collegiate football, and he's, I mean, phenomenal player. So I would say that. And I guess the story of when I knew I was going to become a Spartan is probably one of the first times I did a tour of the campus. I went with one of my best friends, my dad, and we parked the car in the IM West parking lot, and we got out of the car, and I went to go throw something in the garbage can, and all of a sudden this squirrel just flew out, nearly like knocked me over, and my dad starts laughing because I've always had a fear of squirrels. And
perfect.
when that happened, I just viewed that as a sign, like, you know what, like, yeah, this is the place for me. I mean, if that's like the first experience is squirrel flying at me, like, this is the spot. So yeah, I mean, I went on and I only applied to one college. That was Michigan State. Got in. I applied like 8 days later. They said, "Yep, you're good to go." So ever since then, it's just been all green. But yeah, I would say the first moment that I knew that MSU was probably the favorite was just seeing Drew Stanton. Even like Agim Shabai, like I know he went to Harrison High School with Stanton, so just kind of seeing that pipeline and being from this similar area. So yeah, I would say those are the 2 that kind of solidified it for me.
The 2 most historic moments in MSU athletics history is probably 1A, Tom Izzo naming Matt Ishbia a walk-on. Like that's 1A for sure. 1B is MSU accepting your application right after. That has turned into millions of dollars and also millions of internet impressions and just great recruiting asset that you provide there. But I love that. Stanton and squirrels. I got to say, did not have that on my bingo card, but I love that was the moment right there.
Yeah.
I also want to hog the mic and talk about it in 2 moments too, but a little differently. The first one is like okay, honestly, 3. I'll break it into 3. First, I really didn't have a choice. Dad's a diehard State fan. My mom's a diehard State fan. My grandma, she's been a season ticket holder for decades on end. My great-grandpa used to park cars outside of Spartan Stadium, and as the perk, after you park cars, they would let you in the stadium for free. Like, this has just been a whole family thing. So, like, really, I had no choice in the matter. Number 2 was when the good times started rolling in. Some of my earliest memories was the Gator Bowl victory, and then also seeing Mateen Cleaves do his running thing that he was doing as they, ran to the 2000 national title. But number 3, Brett, and I'm going to take a turn on this here. Number 3, I think that fandom is defined by how hard you stick with the team even through the toughest moments. And actually, Drew Stanton is involved in this too, because I forgot what grade I was in. It was either like 7th, 8th, maybe even 9th grade. No, it was 9th grade. Was the 2006 Notre Dame game, I believe, when they blew that 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. Because I woke up, I was like, this doesn't stop happening in the John L. Smith era. This is the epitome of the John L. Smith era. But do you know what? Damn it. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm still going to do the same thing. I'm actually going to root harder for this team. As miserable as it has been on the football field, stuck to the team there. And also, too, if you want to fast forward the clock, like, went to every home game of the 2018 and 2019 season. And, like, I don't want to, like, say that I'm the greatest fan in the world, because Lord knows I'm not, because I got you on the call with me right now. But, like, it's how you stick through the bad moments too, Brett, that really iron forges you as a fan, And I'm not downplaying anyone that, is just up and down with the team. Hey, if you're a bandwagon fan, that probably just means that you're better with your time and you're a healthier person than I am. But yeah, that's kind of my story here. That's because the devastating losses, man. If you can crawl back from those, Mr. Bradham, I think that solidifies you as a fan. That goes for any team, any sport.
Yeah, but I think especially with Michigan State, kind of with that period you just mentioned, I mean, that's some deep water stuff, having to, like, go through the John L. Smith era. I mean, that, and then even, like, then finally Coach D'Antonio gets here and we have that brutal loss, that school down the road, and then he gives his speech. And I think that's when, like, that was a light at the end of the tunnel when Coach D'Antonio gave that speech, because it signified, like, okay, like, yeah, we're not going to be doing this anymore. Like, 17-point fourth quarter loss is absolutely not. So
right.
I think that really solidified it. And I think another example of kind of going through the tough times is the coaching search when we got Coach Tucker. I mean, we were all up until 3 a.m. on Twitter analyzing shoelaces. And yeah, you won't get that from another. To quote a famous philosopher, you cannot fake passion like that.
You sure cannot. Absolutely, positively not. Whoop whoop. No, there's no question about it, man. No. I'm not going to say I miss the coaching search, because be careful what I'm not wishing for, but be careful what you just say in this case, because I don't want to go through it anytime soon with football or basketball, and but it is fun. It is a hoot and a half. So yeah, that's kind of where I stand on the whole thing. A, having no choice, just being born into it, but B, just leaning further into it than anyone ever possibly should, is probably the way to go here. Mr. Bradham, how well do you know Kentucky Derby horses?
Not very well.
How well do you know their jockeys?
I couldn't name one. You put $1 billion on the table in front of me and said, name a jockey. I would go home with $0.
Well, I've got $0 to offer, but I have 11 names. Are they Kentucky Derby jockeys, or are they current MSU athletes? We will find out in a hot second. I just got to talk to you beautiful people about BetOnline.net. That's right. It's where the game starts, and starting soon is the Kentucky Derby. I'm going to give 3 quick picks right off the top. My trifecta is going to be Epicenter in first place. Yes, that's the chalkiest pick of all time, but this horse has a late push that is going to send it through all the other horses. Zandon for number 2. It might be a little wet at the Derby. Zandon won earlier this year in wet conditions. Very cool temperatures too in Kentucky. And number 3 is Charge It. That's right, 20-1. You're going to like the odds on that. And you can find all these odds and more at betonline.net. It is your number one source for all things betting, because just like I've said 100 times, it's your number one source for all your sports betting stats and info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, news, including this year's basketball playoffs, Major League Baseball, and this weekend's run to the Roses as the Kentucky Derby is back at BetOnline. Your continued source for all your sporting wagering information from live betting, playoffs, esports, and more. Head to the website today. Use a mobile device. Learn more about the trends in action at BetOnline where the game starts. And let's start segment 3 with some. Actually, I shouldn't say start segment 3. We're going to be doing this whole segment. It is a oldie but a goodie. It is Kentucky Derby jockey or MSU athlete. I've got 11 names written in front of me. Mr. Brettham, are you ready? I'm going to do it one by one. You're going to tell me.
Kentucky I'm Derby, ready.
You don't have to give me the horse. You don't have to give me the sport that the athlete plays. You just got to, I think I did a pretty good job explaining. How hard can it be? Let's find out, actually.
Well, we're going to find out, yeah.
We are. Sir, number 1, Dominic Pianto. Dominic Pianto, Kentucky Derby jockey or MSU athlete.
I'm going to go MSU athlete.
Mr. Brettham, you are 1 for 1 so far. Dominic Pianto is a current MSU baseball pitcher with Jake Boss and company. Congratulations. You are not going to go 0-4-11 right now. As we head to number 2, Corey Lanieri. Corey Lanieri.
He's a fantastic jockey.
He is, and he will be on Smile Happy this weekend at the Run for the Roses down at Churchill Downs in the Kentucky Derby. Look at you, 2 for 2. You're on a roll. Number 3, Julien Leparoux. Julien Leparoux.
Oh, that's got to be a jockey.
It is a jockey riding Classic Causeway. Look at you. You're a smoking hot 3 for 3. Oh, man. How are you feeling right now?
Oh, this feels like one of those big single game parlays you do.
Sure, right? Yeah, the ones that I always lose right off the bat. Let's do over Giannis 35.5 points, and he's going into halftime with like 6 points. Like, okay, nice, cool. That's fantastic. Number 4, Brendan Favazza. Brendan Favazza.
Sounds like a hockey player. That sounds like a hockey player.
So is that an MSU athlete, guys? You're getting so hot that you're starting to pick out the sport. That's what I'm talking about right here.
I'm going to go MSU athlete.
And you would be correct. He is a cross-country runner for your Michigan State Spartans. Look at... We did this with Will last year when we both co-hosted. I don't even know if you got 4 correct the entire time, and you are batting 4 for 4, my friend. We're seeing history. We're witnessing greatness. As we go to number 5, Mr. Brettham. Ricardo Santana Jr. Ricardo Santana Jr. That is a jockey on Tawny Port Racing in the Kentucky Derby. A smooth 5 for 5 coming up right here. This is incredible. I've never seen anything like this. I think this is the 4th year I've done this. I did this on a podcast that about 6 people listened to 4 years ago called 3 Gas Bags with me, Will Hunter, Paul Costanzo, and this never goes this well. So I'm very impressed right now. Kazuki Matsuno for number 6. Kazuki Matsuno for number 6.
Oh, this is a tough one.
Yeah, this is a tough one, isn't it?
My gut's telling me it's a jockey.
The ride is over, unfortunately. He is an MSU tennis player. What a run that was, starting 5 for 5, but hey, 5 for 6. That ain't nothing to sneeze at, baby. That's what I'm talking about. This is an all-time name right here. For number 7, Joe Bravo. Joe Bravo.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's got to be a jockey.
It's got to be a jockey, Mr. Brettham Jr., because it is a jockey riding Pioneer of Medina this weekend. You're back on the saddle. That pun is absolutely intended and absolutely horrible. But look at you. You are 6 for 7. Let's keep rolling. Manny Franco. Manny Franco.
I'm going to go jockey.
And you're going to put yourself back in the win column right here because, yeah, you're batting 7 for 8 right now. He is riding Zozos in this weekend's Kentucky Derby. Yes, check him out. Roughly 6:45. It'll be a great time. We got 3 more names, Mr. Brettham. Are you ready to close this one out?
Let's go.
This is unbelievable. Reese Trahey. Reese Trahey.
Okay. I'm going to go with MSU athlete. And Reese, I'm going to guess, is men's volleyball.
No, but MSU athlete. So you will get points for that. Baseball. We're back on the diamond for Mr. Reese Trahey. Back in the baseball diamond. Let's get down to the final two, as you are a smooth 9 of 10, right? I can't do math. Whatever it is, you're doing really damn good. Second to last one, Landon Ernst. MSU
athlete.
Do you want to go ahead and call your shot what sport that is?
Landon Ernst. Oh man. Okay, I'm between tennis,
okay,
and baseball. So I'm gonna go tennis.
It's golf, unfortunately, but you are smoking hot. He's smoking hot. 9 for 10 right now. I can't believe this is unbelievable. Last but not least, Manny Laguna. Manny Laguna. Take us home, Odell Brettham. Let's go.
Manny Laguna is going to be riding the winning horse this weekend.
He would, except he wrestles for Michigan State, unfortunately. Manny Laguna. We ended with 3 straight Spartans. I that might have been a curveball there, but man, with someone as good as you were at that game, I had to throw you a curveball.
Yeah, that was a good one.
A smooth 9 correct, 2 wrong. That is unbelievable. Find a place to put that on the Peach Bowl rings too. That you went 9 and 2 in Kentucky Derby Jockey or MSU athlete. No one's ever going to do as good as that. If you there's no shot. But if you did better than that, comment in the YouTube sections below or hit me up. LockedOnSpartans@gmail.com or hit Mr. Brettham up too. Odell Brettham Jr. on Twitter. You guys already follow him. You guys already know who he is. He's the best MSU account out there and just the best overall person of all time. So, Mr. Brettham, thank you so much for kicking off the weekend with us, and thank you, listeners. That I'm sure they were delighted to hear from the MSU chief of propaganda and the chief of Derby jockeys and MSU athletes. Man, I should have never doubted you. You're the chief, man.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you having me. This is a blast. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, I'm trying to get my hands on a Peach Bowl ring now, just so I can kind of. Yeah. I think that would be. Imagine just us two taking a selfie together. We got the Peach Bowl rings going. I think, as the kids would say, we'd break the internet. So, and now I got to bet on the Kentucky Derby. So, who are you picking to win?
I'm going to go with Epicenter, which is the lamest, chalkiest pick of all time because it is the favorite. However, for the money, I like Charge It. That horse is at 20-1 as of this morning. Great finishing power there. The last race it ran was sneaking up. I forgot what race it was. I think it was the Florida Derby. Another quarter mile, though, which is what the Kentucky Derby will see, and you'll see Charge It in the top 3. So bet on Charge It to show, or if you're feeling saucy, 20-1 to win. Not bad. So I could talk your ear off about horses all day long here, but I understand that the Venn diagram of people that want MSU content and Kentucky Derby content are 2 circles that probably don't even touch. So that's I'll stop. I'll stop right here. I'll stop right there. But Brettham, Mr. Brettham, that is, excuse me. You're a legend. Go on with your bad self. Have a great weekend. As with you, all the listeners. If you guys want a second listen, Locked On Big Ten with our guy Nate Dickinson. I'll be on tomorrow's show as well, actually. Keep you up to date on everything going on in the conference. So, Odell Brettham, do you have any wise words to send people into the weekend with?
No, I would say just keep chopping. We're going to be venturing into the deep waters coming up, where no one's going to out chop us. And yeah, we got an exciting few weeks coming up. I will say, fans, stay tuned. There's going to be some big news dropping soon with the football program and the whole university. So, yeah, keep in touch.